Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to today's Finance 360-degree session. So today we are going to discuss a very important document that the RBI has recently released, that is the Utkarsh 2029. Now this is a very important document that we will be discussing, as well as the vision, the value of the RBI, the values that the RBI follow, the strategic pillars that RBI will be following, the deliverables that RBI will be focusing on. All of this has been mentioned and all of this has been laid down in this Utkarsh 2029. So this is a very important document of the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, so RBI has unveiled the medium term strategy framework Utkarsh 2029, as well as there is a lot of discussion that is going on regarding the ULI. Okay, so we will discuss that what is this Utkarsh 2029, as well as what are the important facts that you have to remember, what are the important concepts that you have to remember from this particular document, as well as we will discuss the ULI in detail so that you have the clarity. Okay, so give me a thumbs up if I am clearly audible and the screen is visible. And remember that in the digital payment index, from the parameters there was sub parameter that was also asked. Okay, so like your digital payment index, that is very important, but it is released on the half yearly basis. The financial inclusion index, it is also important as it is released on the yearly basis. But Utkarsh 2029, it is released for a 3-year time period. So you can understand that the Utkarsh 2029 is also massively important for your phase 1, for your phase 2, for the objective and descriptive part. Okay, as well as for the interview, because you need to know about the values that the RBI follow, the strategic pillars that the RBI is going to follow. Okay, so this is a very important document from the RBI Grade B examination point of view that you cannot miss at all, and you need to have the greater clarity of this document. So let's get started now. But before that, do subscribe to the YouTube channel of EduTap so that you continue getting the relevant videos, and do join our Telegram channel where you will get the PDF of the session. And the link for the Telegram channel is provided in the description box below. Okay, so you can get the PDF of the session. The PDF is usually provided within 24 hours. So now let's start with the topic. Okay, nice. So Utkarsh 2029, see, this is the medium-term strategy framework of the Reserve Bank of India. Here the RBI is not releasing the guidelines for the banks. Here the RBI is not releasing the guidelines for the regulated entities. Here the RBI is releasing the strategic pillars that RBI will be following. So basically this is the document of the RBI for its own guidance. Okay, so the Utkarsh 2029, this is the medium term strategy framework where the RBI lays down, where the RBI communicates the strategic priorities of the RBI, as well as the focus areas that the RBI will be focusing on, as well as the deliverables that RBI will be pursuing. Okay, the deliverables that the RBI will be delivering and will be pursuing. So this is the idea that the Utkarsh 2029, it lays down the strategic priorities of the Reserve Bank of India, where the RBI is prioritizing the focus areas of the RBI and the deliverables that the RBI will be focusing on, that the RBI will be pursuing. So what are the deliverables, what are the focus areas, what are the strategic priorities, that we are going to discuss one by one. But this Utkarsh 2029, this document is for the Reserve Bank of India, where the RBI is internalizing and RBI is focusing on itself and what priorities it has to focus on, what areas it has to focus on. Okay, so this is the idea. Now, the Reserve Bank of India had first formulated its medium-term strategy framework, Utkarsh 2022, in July 2019, replacing its annual action plans. So before 2019, there were annual action plans in which RBI used to lay down that, okay, what action the RBI should be taking on the annual basis. This year, what action RBI should be taking. Now you have to understand that the annual action plans, they were for the short period, they were only for one financial year, so they were insufficient to pursue strategic objectives that used to take time. That's why the RBI thought that rather than following the annual action plans, the RBI will be formulating the medium term strategy framework that provides RBI the 3-year timeline, so that the RBI can focus on the strategic priorities, the focus areas, and the RBI can pursue the different deliverables in this time period. Okay, so this is the idea. The first framework was the Utkarsh 2022 for the time period of 2019 to 2022. Then second framework was Utkarsh 2.0, that was for the time period of 2023 to 2025. Now the third framework that is recently released by the RBI is the Utkarsh 2029, that is for the time period 2026 till 2029. And here we are talking about the financial year, that is from April 2026 till March 2029. So Utkarsh 2029, this is the framework for the 3 financial year time period, okay, for the medium term. So this is the medium term strategy framework. Here we are not focusing on only the 1 year timeline. Here we are not focusing on the 10-year timeline. Here we are focusing on the 3 years, that is the medium term, where the RBI will be focusing on its priorities, the focus areas, and the deliverables that it want to pursue. Okay. So the RBI had first formulated its medium-term strategy framework in July 2019. Now, continuing the previous two frameworks, the Utkarsh 2029 has been released, and this Utkarsh 2029, this communicates the medium-term strategic priorities of the Reserve Bank of India, where the RBI will be focusing on over a 3-year time horizon, that is financial year 2026 to financial year 2026 to 29. Okay, that is from April 2026 till March 2029. So this is the idea. Now, any confusion till now? Okay. So spanning 3 years from April 2026 to March 2029, Utkarsh 2029 lays down the foundation for the following long-term deliverables. So remember that the Utkarsh 2029, it is for a 3-year time period from April 2026 to March 2029. The Utkarsh 2029, it lays down the foundation. So this document, it lays down the foundation for the long-term deliverables that the RBI is pursuing, that is the Project Samudra, for modernizing the currency management system of the Reserve Bank of India. The RBI has a core function, that is currency management. So currency management is the core function, one of the core function of the RBI. So Project Samudra is for modernizing the currency management system, expanding the CBDC, that is the central bank digital currency, for supporting the cross-border payments efficiently, scaling up the ULI, that is the unified lending interface. How many of you are aware about the ULI? Anyone? Any idea about ULI? You must have heard about the UPI that we all use, the Unified Payment Interface. You must use it directly, or at least you must have seen your friends using the UPI, right? So we all know about the UPI, but what is this ULI? ULI is the Unified Lending Interface. Okay, so that means that all the banks will be lending together? No, actually what happens that usually the rural and the micro and small small and medium enterprises, they find it very difficult to take loans, as they have to deposit, as they have to deliver various documents. Okay, so rural and the micro and smaller medium enterprises, the rural agriculture laborers, or the farmers, and the micro and small and medium enterprise borrowers, they face long delays, extensive documentation. They have to, like, let's say in the case of agriculture, the land records are required. Let's say the yield data is required from the different departments, government departments, or the existing loans, if the farmer has taken the loans, or what deposits the farmer has. So all of the data is required. Okay, the income statements are required and such. So a lot of data is required, a lot of documents are required. So that is very difficult to garner, or that is very difficult to gather, or it can take a lot of time. So that's why the ULI has been released. Now this ULI, it is built on India's digital infrastructure. It is connecting securely to government databases, satellite imagery, and financial data sources through secure RBI-backed infrastructure. So ULI is very, very important, as it is connecting securely to the government databases, satellite imagery, financial data sources, and such, so that from the different sources, the documents can be taken easily. Okay, so this is the idea, that from state land records department, or from the tax department, from the like utility records if they are required, if the utility bills are required, so from different departments, from different government departments, from the different financial data sources, the data can be easily taken through the ULI that is built on the India's digital infrastructure, that is connecting securely the to the government databases, to the financial data sources. Okay, so through the ULI, there is the easy connection that can be done with the government databases, with the financial data sources, and there is the plug and play model that is followed under the ULI. That means the banks, the lenders, the NBFCs basically, they can plug into the ULI, and they can connect, and through that they can connect to the multiple data sources, to the multiple financial data sources. So rather than connecting with the state land record department, rather than connecting with the tax department, rather than connecting with the utility records, multiple like let's say telephone department, or rather than connecting with the telegram department and so departments, or rather than connecting with so many of the financial institutions, the banks, the NBFCs, they just have to plug into the ULI, which is already connected to data sources, multiple data sources. Okay, so this is the plug and play model. That is, you just have to plug into the ULI that is providing the connection with the government databases and the financial data sources, and it will make it very easier for the lenders, very easy for the banks and the NBFCs to gather the documents, to take the documents directly, and it will expedite, it will make the process faster. So this is the whole idea of the ULI. Any confusion, anyone? So cut lending cost by 60%. This is given in the website of RBIH. I hope you have heard about the RBIH. It is the wholly owned subsidiary of the Reserve Bank of India. So Reserve Bank Innovation Hub, in its website, this data points are given that with the ULI, it will cut lending cost by 60%, reduce loan processing from weeks to only minutes, with automated verification, real-time data access, and standardized APIs that handle everything from the KYC to the property search. So this is the idea of the ULI, that is the unified lending interface. Before, the data had to be collected from multiple sources. The documentation used to take a lot of time, but now through the ULI, that is built on the India's digital infrastructure, there will be easy connection with the government databases, with the financial data sources. So the lenders will be easily able to gather the documents that the lenders need. Okay, or the borrowers will be able to give the consent, and the lenders will be able to get the documents easily. It will increase, or it will boost the credit appraisal, and the time will be reduced. Okay, so credit appraisal will happen faster, more efficiently, and the credit appraisal time will reduce significantly. So quicker turnaround, minimal documentation from the borrowers, as directly the lenders will be connected with the ULI, fulfilling unmet credit demand. That is the idea. So scaling up ULI, this is a major focus area of the Reserve Bank of India for the inclusive credit delivery, so that the rural borrowers, the farmers, the agricultural laborers and such, as well as the MSMEs, that is the micro, small and medium enterprises, they can easily get the loans with the proper documents. Okay, developing frameworks for use of emerging technologies such as AI and quantum in our financial sector. So this is the idea that under the Utkarsh 2029, the focus is also given to developing the frameworks for use of emerging technologies such as the artificial intelligence and the quantum in the financial sector, and other focus areas are also there. So this is the important idea that I hope you have understood. Now Utkarsh 2029, it is focusing on the long-term deliverables, as well as it is also continuing the long-term deliverables for which the foundation was laid in the previous Utkarsh 2.0. So internationalization of INR, that initiated, or that was focus area in the Utkarsh 2.0. So that is also focused under the Utkarsh 2029. UPI to revolutionize the cross-border payments. So this was the focus area under the Utkarsh 2.0. This is also the focus area under the Utkarsh 2029. Okay, so Utkarsh 29 has certain particular areas where it is focusing, like the project Samudra, expanding CBDC for the cross-border payments, scaling up the ULI, developing the frameworks for the emerging technologies, for the use of emerging technologies, as well as Utkarsh 2029 is also focusing on continuing the long-term deliverables for which the foundation has already been laid, such as the internationalization of the INR and UPI to revolutionize cross-border payments. Now, coming to the Utkarsh 2029 structure and vision. Okay, so what is the structure of Utkarsh 2029? So basically, Utkarsh 2029 has been fine-tuned into a 3-layered structure consisting of 6 strategy pillars. So there are 6 strategy pillars. Now these strategy pillars, they are guided by the vision and the values. And under these 6 strategy pillars, there are the deliverables that RBI will be focusing on. Okay. So now vision statement, now 6 strategy pillars. What are the 6 strategy pillars? What are the values, the deliverables? All of this we will be discussing, but let's first start with the vision. The first step, okay? The vision statement of the Utkarsh 2029 is basically continue excellence. What is the meaning of Utkarsh? Anyone has any idea? Utkarsh in Sanskrit means excellence. Okay, Utkarsh in Sanskrit means excellence, and that is what RBI is pursuing. Okay, so vision statement of the Utkarsh 2029, it focuses on continue excellence while enabling a stable, inclusive, and technologically robust financial system. So, this is the vision of Utkarsh 2029. Remember it very clearly. Continue excellence, because Utkarsh means is excellence, while enabling a stable financial system we want. Inclusion is a main point, and technologically robust. RBI is continuously focusing on innovations and the technological advancement. Okay, so continue, very easy now. Continue excellence while enabling stable, inclusive, and technologically robust financial system. That's it. Okay, so this is the idea, this is the vision of the RBI, of the Utkarsh 2029. Now, coming to the values. Next step is to discuss the values. What do you think? What are the values? Can anyone tell me what can be the values of the Reserve Bank of India? Like, we have certain values that, okay, we should not steal, we should not harm anyone, we should not disrespect anyone without any poking and such. So we should not directly disrespect someone. So these are certain values that the people follow. What are the values of the RBI as an organization? RBI focuses on public interest. Public interest. RBI also focuses on innovation. RBI also focuses on integrity and independence. Whenever you think about the RBI, you know that it is an independent body, from the sense that, okay, the RBI takes the decisions independently to control the inflation and such. So, integrity and independence. So, there are certain values, there are 5 values that are 5 values of RBI that are mentioned under the Utkarsh 2029. Okay, public interest. So RBI ensures public interest by following customer-centric approach. Integrity and independence. RBI maintains highest standards of integrity and independence and foster trust by sustaining transparency and accountability. Okay, so RBI is one of the organization in the country which actually follows the standards, which actually follows the integrity and independence. Responsiveness and innovation. So RBI is agile and it is responsive to changing technological requirements of the financial ecosystem. Diversity and inclusiveness. So RBI promotes diversity and inclusion in all its activities. Introspection and pursuit of excellence. So this is, again, excellence is a key term in the whole Utkarsh 2029. Introspection, that we will discuss in the coming slides also, that RBI is actually introspecting. RBI is actually trying to improve its own operations. So RBI pursue professional excellence and stay committed to continuous self-appraisal. Okay. So this is the idea. So the values are public interest, integrity and independence, responsiveness and innovation, diversity and inclusiveness, introspection and pursuit of excellence. So these are the values of the RBI that RBI follow. I hope you will be able to remember this. Okay. Okay. And where Utkarsh 2029 is covered in the course, that also I will show you. It has already been covered, so I will show you it. Utkarsh 2029, it pursues the values of Utkarsh 2029 and the Utkarsh 2.0. So in the Utkarsh 2022, the Utkarsh 2.0, these same values were laid down, and the Utkarsh 2029 also pursues the same values. Okay, so this is the idea. Now, coming to the strategy pillars, as I've told you that there are 6 strategy pillars. So the strategy pillars of Utkarsh 2029 and its focus areas. So what are the strategy pillars? What are the priorities of the RBI? Think about it. What are the priorities of the RBI? Robust regulations, because RBI is the RBI is the regulating authority. It is regulating various regulated entities, right? So robust regulations will be simplified and made more resilient. The complex regulations, they are harder to follow. That's why complex regulations, they are harder to understand and harder to follow. So the regulations should be simplified and made more resilient. Okay, customer centricity and inclusive finance. So there should be accessibility of the services. Customer services should be provided by the scheduled commercial banks in a more accessible manner. So there should be accessibility and interconnectedness. The financial institutions, the financial system is more interconnected, so there should be proper risk assessment that should also happen. So there should be customer centricity and inclusive finance. Okay, competitive markets, financial deepening. So there should be competitive markets. The money market is under the Regulation of the Reserve Bank of India. Government securities market is under the regulation of the Reserve Bank of India. So there should be competitive financial markets. The financial deepening should happen, digitalization should happen. Okay, effective technology, that is innovation and cyber security. If we are innovating, we also have to focus on the security. Future ready organization, so RBI should focus on upskilling and sustainability. Global India, that is we have to follow the global standards, and standardization is what we have to focus on, and internationalization. So these are the strategic pillars and their focus areas. Remember this very carefully, because you know that from the digital payment index there were multiple questions on its parameters, on its sub parameters. Similarly here also there can be questions from the strategic pillars and their focus areas, okay, or which focus areas are under which particular pillar. So robust regulations, simplification and resilience, customer centricity and inclusive finance, accessibility and interconnectedness, competitive markets, financial deepening and digitalization, effective technology, innovation and cybersecurity, future ready organization, upskilling and sustainability, global India, standardization and internationalization. So Utkarsh 2029 has been shaped through inputs from the central office departments, regional offices and RBI subsidiaries to ensure internal inclusivity. Okay, the framework is aligned with the aspirational goals for RBI at the rate 100 and national priorities, the priorities that the government of India has laid down, such as the Viksit Bharat 2047 and Panch Pran. It comprises now the under the strategic pillars there are 49 deliverables. So there are 49 deliverables under the 6 strategic pillars. Okay, each pillar represents a key priority of the Reserve Bank of India. So this is the idea. Now let's discuss all of these strategic pillars one by one, so that you can understand that under these strategic pillars what are the deliverables that are the focus area. Okay, so robust regulation, RBI endeavors to review, rationalize and simplify the instructions periodically, so that the regulations, the master direction, the master circulars, they are aligned with the evolving need of the economy, and reduce compliance. The RBI is also focusing on reducing the compliance burden for the regulated entities, promoting ease of doing business, minimizing the procedural redundancies, provide operational flexibility to the regulated entities and promote responsible innovation. So this is the robust regulation where the RBI is focusing on simplification and resilience. Okay, next is customer centricity and inclusive finance. So RBI's strategy focuses on assessing customer service and scheduled commercial banks, and the customer services should be improved in the scheduled commercial banks, as well as there should be more accessibility. That means customer services should be made more accessible for the customers. Services, the financial products, the financial services should be made more accessible for the customers. Okay, so this is the idea, the financial. So this is the idea that the financial products, the financial services, they should be made more accessible for the customers, and RBI will be assessing the customer service in the scheduled commercial banks, accelerating the grievance redressal so that the grievances of the customers can be addressed in a faster manner, enabling the grievance escalation to the higher authorities. RBI ensures, now see, this is the accessibility. RBI wants the financial products, financial services to be accessible. Now RBI ensures continuous self-assessment through Citizens Charter review. What is Citizen Charter? Citizen Charter basically contains the services that the RBI provides to the regulated entities and the customers, or the public basically. Okay, so these are the services that the RBI provide to the regulated entities and the citizens. Any confusion, anyone? So Citizen Charter is basically the services. Citizen Charter consists of the services that the RBI is providing to the regulated entities and the citizens. Okay, so here you can see that different departments of the Reserve Bank of India, they are providing different services like closure of currency chest, opening of the currency chest, shifting of the shifting or expansion of the currency chest. So there are different services that RBI provide to the regulated entities and to the citizens through different departments. So Citizen Charter consists of the different services that RBI is providing. Okay, Now, RBI ensures continuous self-appraisal, the self-assessment through the Citizen Charter Review. And the RBI also publish a periodic metric on the same, that how many applications the RBI has got. Out of this applications that is processed during the month, how many of the applications were completed within the timeline. That is 99.8% of the applications were within timeline, but 0.2% of the applications went beyond timeline. So you can understand that the RBI is very much focused on the self-assessment, on the self-appraisal and improving its own operations. So RBI ensures continuous assessment through the Citizen Charter Review. Citizen Charter is basically consisting of the services that RBI provide to the regulated entities and the citizens. RBI also publishes periodic metrics on the same on its review on the Citizen Charter. RBI strategy aims at financial inclusion by expanding the ULI, Unified Lending Interface, reducing lending costs, promoting inclusive credit delivery, and strengthening the contingent risk assessment, underscoring interconnectedness in the financial system. Because there is interconnectedness in the financial system, there are various financial entities that are very much interconnected. Okay, NBFCs and the banks, they are very much interconnected. NBFCs themselves, banks themselves are also very much interconnected. So when the financial institutions, they are getting more and more interconnected, there should be the contingent risk assessment that should be strengthened, so that if one bank fails, how it will impact the other banks, how it will impact the other NBFCs, that should be identified. Okay, so that is the contingent risk assessment that should be strengthened, underscoring the more and more interconnectedness in the financial system. Next is competitive markets. This pillar focuses on enhancing the market competitiveness, strengthening the market infrastructure by automating the processes, increasing the central clearing, reducing the risk, enhancing the market access, along with reduced auction turnaround time, because there are auctions that happen in the government securities market and such. So the turnaround time should be reduced. Price transparency should be there, expanding the retail participation in the markets. Effective technology. So RBI shall also use the technology in various areas of its own operations and eliminate paper or email based interactions, ensuring end-to-end digitalization of internal workflows. So RBI is going to focus on the effective technology in the internal workflows, as well as RBI will also deploy tech driven supervisory tools for the better supervision, for the efficient supervision, develop indigenous AI tools that are developed in the country itself, upgrade systems like eCubay 3.0, and modernize the currency infrastructure, and promoting responsible innovation through AI frameworks, sandboxes, and asset tokenization. Asset tokenization basically means converting real world assets like government bonds into small digit units on a secure system, enabling common investors to be able to buy fractional ownership and trade them easily. Okay, so this is the idea, that asset tokenization basically means that real world assets, it can be different assets that are converted into small digital units. Okay, now future ready organization. RBI strategy is to build a future ready institution through continuous upskilling of resources. You will be RBI grade B officer, so continuous upskilling will be done, reviewing functions across its offices, strengthening two-way communication with stakeholders, and embedding sustainability and climate awareness in its actions and decisions to further institutional excellence. Global India, that focuses on standardization and internationalization. The RBI, bank is RBI, okay, aims to enhance global cooperation by promoting UPI adoption abroad, expanding INR based international trade settlement, the Indian rupee based international trade settlement, expanding cross-border central bank digital currency arrangement, and adopting global standards to enhance global competitiveness. Okay, so this is the idea, that RBI will be focusing on adopting the global standards to enhance the global competitiveness. The RBI also aims to actively pursue the leadership role India could play in different international discourses. This is the idea, and we have discussed the values, we have discussed the vision, we have discussed the 6 strategic pillars in detail. We have discussed the focus areas under the 6 strategic pillars also. Okay, so now each pillar encompasses overarching, forward-looking and medium-term deliverables. The regular functions of the RBI will continue under the annual action plan of respective departments. See, the Utkarsh 2029, it consists of the strategic pillars that RBI will be focusing on, the focus areas that RBI will pursue, and the deliverables that RBI will be targeting. Okay, now there are also the annual action plan of the respective departments, which consist of the regular functions that RBI will be doing, or the RBI departments will be doing. So the regular functions of the RBI will continue under the annual action plan of the respective departments. The RBI attaches high importance to its medium term strategy and monitors its implementation and progress through a subcommittee of its central board. Okay, so this is the idea. Now, before going to the questions, first let me show you the document that is prepared for the course. So here, this is the document that is prepared for the course for the Utkarsh Framework 3.0. As you know, Utkarsh is a very, very important document that is released by the RBI. So we have also prepared, like the team has also prepared this document released by RBI. Background: Utkarsh 2022, Utkarsh 1, Utkarsh 2, Utkarsh 3. It was launched. Okay, when it was launched, it is a medium-term strategic framework that has replaced the annual action plan. The objectives of the Utkarsh, like the project Samudra, CBDC, scaling up of ULI, all of this has been explained and laid down in a very systematic manner so that you are able to revise it very, very thoroughly. The vision statement, the values that are pursued by the Utkarsh framework, so all of this has been laid down. The strategic pillars, the strategy pillars and their focus areas. So here you can see the strategy pillars and the focus areas. So everything has been laid down in a very systematic manner so that you are able to remember the things more clearly and in a systematic manner. Okay, so as there are 6 pillars, so the pillars have also been explained, the important terminologies have also been explained in a very good manner, like the e-Kuber, asset tokenization, all of these important terms have been explained. So remember this, that the Utkarsh Framework 3.0, for this the team has prepared a document that here you can see, in which the important data points, the important points have been laid down. Everything has been provided in a very systematic manner. Okay, citizen charter. See, citizen charter is basically the citizen charter. It basically consists of the services that RBI provide to the regulated entities and the citizens. Okay, so the Reserve Bank of India is is agreeing or is providing the services such as the closure of currency chest or opening of the currency chest, the final approvals, the shifting of or expansion of the currency chest, exchange of notes received through the postal covers. So RBI is providing various services, right? The different departments of RBI, the Department of Currency Management, Department of Government and Bank Accounts. So different departments, multiple departments of the RBI, they are providing different services. So citizen charter basically contains all the different services that RBI is providing, that the RBI departments are providing to the regulated entities and the citizens. So RBI also reviews the citizen charter, the services that the RBI is providing. And there is the periodic metric that is also released on the RBI's website. On the RBI's website, this metric is released that, okay, how many applications were pending at the beginning of the month, applications that have been received during the month. So what are the total applications that the RBI has received? What are the total applications that the RBI has received? Out of that, how many the RBI has fulfilled within the timeline? How many are beyond timeline? So beyond timeline, that is crossing the timeline, are very less applications. So through this, RBI is able to see that if it is internally doing well or not, if it is internally able to follow the timelines or not. So I hope this is very much clear now. Sure, any confusion, anyone? Correct. Citizen charter is the place that contains, or citizen charter, it contains all the services that the different departments of RBI are undertaking for the regulated entities and for the citizens. So different services that the RBI departments are providing. So they are laid down, they consist under the citizen charter, and the RBI also reviews the citizen charter and provides the periodic metrics on the same. Okay, this is the idea. Chalo. Now this is the first question. I hope you will be easily able to answer this question. So which of the following are not the values under Utkarsh 2029 of the Reserve Bank of India? So I hope you remember the values. I hope you remember the strategy pillars and their focus areas. Very, very important. Okay. So try to answer this question. And this is your second question. With reference to the strategy pillars and focus areas under Utkarsh 2029 of the Reserve Bank of India, consider the following statements. Which of the statements given above are correct? That you have to tell. Okay, so the statements are given where the strategy pillars and their focus areas have been laid down. So you have to see that which statements are absolutely correct and you have to answer accordingly. Okay, so this is it. Any confusion anyone has? Any confusion? Anyone? I've explained the citizen charter. Citizen charter basically consists of the services that the RBI provides to the regulated entities and to the citizens. Okay. And the RBI also reviews the citizen charter. RBI basically reviews its services that it is providing to the regulated entities and the citizens, and RBI also releases the periodic metric to show that how well the RBI is performing, or if it is not performing well, that also can be seen through the periodic metric. Okay. Anjali, see, usually it is very difficult to cover the RBI notifications, the RBI press releases. It is difficult to understand the RBI notifications, RBI press releases. There are so many of the terminologies. Okay, so documents can be like, we have tried to make the documents very systematic. Like I have shown you the document. In the document itself, the terminologies have been explained. But still, some of the students find it hard to understand the RBI notifications, RBI press releases, and certain finance current affairs. So for that, you can see the sessions. Okay, sessions, they help you to understand and to remember. No, this is the whole, you don't have to go through Utkarsh 3.0 now. This is the complete detail that was given, and all the important points have been laid down in the session itself. Okay. Okay, then if there is no further query, I will be closing this session. I hope you enjoyed the session, and do tell me in the comment section the answers of the homework question. Okay, let's see how many of you are able to answer correctly. So do, like in 2024 we have seen such kind of questions, and many of the students get confused in these kind of questions. So do give me the right answer of your homework question in the comment section below. So thank you everyone, thank you for joining.